Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about Benjamin Cowen's review, or basically kind of market sentiment metrics video related to Cardano and ADA, because I was BitBoy's channel. Those guys reached out to me last night saying, "Hey, do you want to come on the channel today, which is what I'm recording this for, to discuss Benjamin Cowen's predictions for Cardano?" And I thought, sure. I haven't even seen his predictions yet. I've been busy. I have been kind of on a pseudo break, but there's been some delays and things that I've got going on, and so I'll be doing some sporadic videos, and I'm working on a whole new metric system for deep dive reviews, and I'm going to be recording some of those in the meantime, so that when I am absent, you guys will have a good number of videos to chew up. Now, we're going to go over this in detail, but it's not going to be a long video, so stick around. Now, currently, this is Bitcoin's chart, and this is a weekly chart. All right. We're still working our way out of this Gaussian channel here. And, you know, I've talked about this a couple times in the past, and we can see that, excuse me, some of the volume is basic. I mean, there's a lot going on here, right? And you can see basically down here at around 20, what is that? Is that 21,000? It's really hard for me to see it the way my system is set up. But it looks like it's pretty low, somewhere around 20,000 or so. And there's a lot of price action ready to go. You can see it's 50-50, basically, buyers and sellers at the same time with these limit orders down here. And you can see it kind of peters out. Now, for whatever reason, there's a big empty gap here, which means that if these two price points fill, it should chew right through that and bring us down into the $24,000 range. I don't necessarily see us burning through this at around 29,000 though. And we really shouldn't move below this red line from here. I mean, we should be either sideways or up from here is my, you know, what I'm thinking. Now, if we look at Cardano's price, you know, in response to Benjamin Cowen, who I absolutely love and respect. I have been a fan of Benjamin Cowen since before he was really, really big. You know, I was messaging him, trying to give him some advice on things because his channel wasn't catching on. I mean, I don't even remember how. I mean, he might have had, I don't know, it was a few thousand subs, maybe a little more than that. I don't remember, but I kept catching his channel and watching his analysis of things in a very mathematical, very kind of an unbiased way. And he did it so well that I referenced his channel a lot, and I said, you guys got to check him out. Now he's absolutely huge. He's just blown the heck up, and more power to him, because he's done really well. And I really like Benjamin Cowen, and I like his take on things. And, you know, the short answer to responding to him is ultimately he uses this. He uses the Bitcoin or Cardano against Bitcoin on a weekly chart. And he's got some things lined up around here, and he's basically trying to make a case that says that Cardano's price against Bitcoin is likely going to dive down even further than it is right now. And you know, a lot of people are hating on it, saying, "Oh, you know, how could you call a new low?" And here's the reality. Right now, we have about 65% of Cardano being staked. I think we've had a high of around 80%. Okay, so around 80% of Cardano in the last peak, in the last bull market, was delegated to staking nodes like the Crow node and many others. Okay, shameless plug there. And so, and back when a lot of this stuff was happening, we didn't have a lot of the functionality that we now have. Okay, so smart contracts launched on July 29th of 2020, or I'm sorry, staking launched in 2020. All right, and the price moved down about 63% from the announcement of launching the staking pools, which is crazy, but this is the kind of stuff Cardano does. March 1st, 2021, we launched native assets. So, you know, like things like the Crow token were possible, NFTs, all of that stuff. And of course, we got another 40% dip on that news. So for whatever reason, when major milestones are hit, the price drops. Why does that happen? Well, my perception of this is the whole buy the rumor, sell the news, right? So people have been accumulating at lows of around, 2 cents, 3 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents. And then they're selling into the news of this, of these big milestones, basically saying, okay, I'm taking my profits at the news because that's going to drive up liquidity for my exit strategy. And then I'll buy back in at a low, which they do, which sends the price back up even higher than it was. So what you have is, you have a number of people that were accumulating at the 2 cents and very low price points. And as they're accumulating, they're waiting for the news breaks of these major milestones and they're selling into that, right? And then they're reaccumulating and then pumping the price back up, but they're ultimately making profits at this point. And so that's just been a rinse and repeat cycle throughout Cardano's development, right? And so we're used to seeing this. And it's also one of the reasons why I believe that Cardano typically does its own thing against Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. Because when it pumps hard, and it generally pumps significantly harder than the Bitcoin or Ethereum does in a similar time frame. But typically it comes after Bitcoin and Ethereum pump. And so because of this reason, while we're looking at the price action here on a weekly candle, potentially moving into newer low territory, that may be possible. I agree with Benjamin Cowen on this, and I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with that. What I definitely think, however, is that now we have much less circulating supply being traded on exchanges than we did all the way back in these periods of time. And because of that, we have much less tokens available to manipulate or push or drop the price. So price could be potentially more volatile, but we have the price momentum or price action of fewer tokens on exchanges dictating the price for everything else that's being staked to nodes. For that reason, I believe that as Cardano's price does start to turn around, we've got roughly 259 days until the next halving here. And I think that as we get closer to this, we might start seeing some increase in pricing. Now, the thing of it is I believe that a lot of this volatility where we're seeing accumulations at the lows and then the prices shooting up because of news and then being dropped back down, or vice versa. Sorry, the price is going down because of news. We're running out of things. Hydra is launched. All of the significant milestones in Cardano's development cycle are pretty much out there, right? They're being perfected and bettered at this point. Better code, better functionality, that sort of thing. We're seeing Hydra being a big use case. Many of us are waiting for microtransactions. Some of this stuff is coming, but it's coming slow, right? Which is fine. I'd rather have it slow and correct than, basically like Ethereum, where they're trying to patch holes every day, or Solana that shuts down at random, having to create an entirely new blockchain to offset the flaws of the original one, that sort of thing. And it's like, more power to them. They're trying to fix their systems. Okay. I'm not trying to hate. I'm just saying that Cardano likes to do things right the first time, and that takes a little more time. And I'm okay with waiting. That's fine, especially given the global use cases that I'm expecting to see with Cardano. We're already seeing it. World Mobile Token is probably going to be blowing up here soon. There's some big stuff going on with World Mobile Token and their licensing. I'll be covering that soon. So anyway, but the point is that no more are people accumulating at 1 cent, 2 cent, and then dumping at much lower prices just to keep reaccumulating, because it's going to get riskier to do that. So I think that we're going to start seeing less volatility in that sense, and we're going to start seeing higher price points. So when the markets do turn around and we do end up getting closer to the halving, and at the halving, we're going to start seeing significant pumps that may fall more in line with what Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing, but we're going to see much higher price action. And if we go back and we look at this from the low of Cardano, or from the halving, let's just say from the halving, we saw an increase in price of Cardano all the way up 1,100%. 1,100%. Now, here we are. We've come all the way back down. And rather than basically starting off at 1 and 2 cents, we're starting off at, let's just say we started off at around 25 cents. We may very well just go sideways for the next 250 days until we get to the halving before we start to rally. That's basically what happened here. If we're going to start matching history, right? But keep in mind that there's less on the market today than there was back here. This is before staking, before native assets were creating a higher use case for Cardano, higher transaction fees, just higher everything, more activity in general on the blockchain, not to mention the number of holders, everything is different now in this market. So I think that while we're going to see some similar price action in this bear market as we conclude the bear market and move into the halving, I think from there we're going to start seeing much more significant price action. But the yield curve, I guess you could call it, that we're used to seeing, we're not going to go up 1,100% because we don't need to. We don't need to. If we just want to see a $3 price point, okay, if we just want to get back to all-time highs, that's not going to take as much from where we're at. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to be 1,100%. It might be 600%. So we'll take a look at that real quick just to get an idea. So price range from where we're at, if we were to just get back to all-time highs, 314 is about right there. Well, it's about 308. So that's 931% from where we're at currently. I believe we're going to hit and exceed that. And the thing of it is that now it's going to be easier to reach these prices because the market cap is going to rise because there's less supply. There's less being traded, right? So it's almost like if I have 100 toy cars, and the value of those 100 toy cars are based off of the 5 that I put out on the open market. If the first one sells for $2, next one sells for $3, the 5th one sells for $10. Well, now 95 of my cars are now worth $95, so long as the demand is there for them. So maybe I just piece them out a little over time and maintain that price point. And that's ultimately how market capitalization works. The price of the few are dictating the value of the many, which maintains itself so long as there's demand. And I believe that the demand is going to continue to rise as use cases rise, as all the projects and development on Cardano continue launching, continue building momentum, building steam, reputation, right? All of that stuff. So ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, I actually agree with Benjamin Cowen. I think that that's entirely possible. It's possible for Cardano's price to go back down even further for a quick wick. I don't think it's going to take very long. If it does, I don't think it's going to sit there. But if it's trying to prove something, if major traders are trying to push the price there, or there's liquidity being established there, the market makers are going to make that happen. They're going to close those gaps, and then the way the price goes. After we've gone sideways for a bit and we start getting to the point where we're closer to the halving, we reach the halving, and then the money that is profiting, people that have been accumulating Bitcoin or Ethereum, they're going to take some of those profits, they're going to start putting them into altcoins like Cardano and the rest, which is likely going to shoot the value of Cardano much higher than it did the previous market cycle. And that's my take on it. I will see you guys later. Crow your coins, and I'm probably going to publish this after I've done the whole BitBoy thing today, and we'll just use this video as a follow-up. So until next time, crow your coins, and I'll see you soon.